Oh shit.
Got sound? I think you muted everyone.
I think you muted the whole crew. You gotta do it, bro. You gotta come back in.
I'm muted. It still won't. I didn't.
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's. All right, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. You gotta do the intro again. Oh.
Now he's just muted. I can hear Whit.
Right. I was about to say, how in the heck am I not hearing? Hey, well, I'm gonna do it for him. All right, so we in the building. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Mike.
The intro replayed on my end. Technical difficulties. Good evening. Yeah. Technical difficulties on my end. It's all good. Fight fans, welcome to another great episode of Headkicks and Haymakers. I'm your boy Bodkins. Of course, I'm always joined by my brother Bobby Blunts and your boy K Whit, baby. Boys, it is UFC 321 fight week, but before we get into this week in the pay-per-view, we got to start. We got to address what happened last week in Canada. I'm not too sure if Dan Miragliotta needs to be fired, but what some awful judging or awful refereeing that was. And then most importantly, RDR quits on the stool. I'm not buying that his team threw the towel. I mean, he looked gassed, but I think he's still, to me, as a fighter, you should want to go out there. He's now released a statement, said like he probably should have never took the fight. He should have listened to his body more. But Brendan Allen gets the big win. Bobby, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on RDR? Anything else in Montreal?
I mean, it's such a weird thing to even get into because the card was, I mean, for more or less kind of going great. And there were definitely some bizarre moments that were, from the officiating, ironically, the same ref. And, there was one sequence in a fight where Dan Miragliotta called the fight off. And in his mind, the clock expired when, I mean, technically there was still a few seconds left. And you figured, oh, he's just going to hold that L and that guy's going to get fucked over. But then ironically, the fight resumed. So the guy that won ended up having to win twice. So it felt just kind of bizarre, just in general, like a black eye on the event because of it. But at the same time, I mean, I guess the story really is Brendan Allen and kind of coming in with a perfect game plan to shut down RDR. I mean, granted, RDR seemed to kind of shut down himself. He alluded to not taking it. I have really no problem with sending him back out there. After the second round, it was pretty obvious he was not going to, he just didn't have it. I mean, he looked completely gassed, was looking up at the clock. On the floor. It was very weird body language, and I don't think anyone with eyes could send him back out there because it was just kind of going to be more of the same. I get the whole go ahead.
I get that it was more of the same, but at the same time, like it's not like Allen was laying a beating on him. You know what I mean? Where he was just defenseless. Like to me, like you got to go back out there for five and give it everything you got for 5 minutes and like show your warrior spirit. You know what I mean? Like show it. everything that you got, and just maybe you connect on something, or maybe you pull a submission. Imagine Anderson Silva against Chael Sonnen, right? Like, what if he would have just gave up, or something like that? I'm just saying, stranger things have happened here in the world of the MMA. So like that's why I think you gotta go back out there.
I get that argument, but to me, it just reminded me of. I mean, he kind of alluded to it. He probably shouldn't have taken the fight. And granted, he did take the fight, so that's the scenario that he's in. But the scheduling just kind of wore on him. Like, he's, coming out of one, he couldn't really get fights. And, he kind of alluded to the whole reason he was able to do the 4 fights this year is because he hadn't been too active in one. So he was kind of saving his body. But I don't know if it was the 4th weight cut that caught up with him, but he clearly did not look like himself. I mean, the first round, he kind of looked fine. I was kind of shocked how quickly he, wanted to grapple. He, didn't try throwing anything to the body like we've previously seen. But it kind of reminded me a little bit of his first fight with Mearshar, how he looked just very kind of sloppy and just not himself. But I mean, he was able to get the win in that fight. The difference in this, he just seemed to have just nothing left. So it definitely will kind of be looked at as a black. I mean, I know for a fact Rob in the space was livid the entire time, burying him. Couldn't believe
Speaking of Rob,
yeah, no, and I've been. He's probably been waiting to get in here all week and just say how RDR just completely disappointed him as a fan. And I get that aspect of it, but at the same time, I just did not think anything was going to change. So I kind of do buy it is the corner, just because when you see a guy in that condition, how are you really going to send him back out there? Because, you might as well take your L instead of taking further damage and stuff down the line. But I get the aspect of he quit, fuck him. He's never going to be a champion. Like, it'll be the high extremes. But I do think with proper time and rest, he's still a tough out for a lot of people at the top of that division. It just absolutely was not his night. And, credit to Brendan Allen. I really hate that the entire story is just that RDR is, came in just ill prepared, because I do think he had a great bounce back from that first round and was able to kind of tire him out. And, it was good to see Bilal in his corner. I think I like that fitting. I think in future fights, that'd be a great corner man for him because Allen's is never correcting the mistakes after like that first round goes. So it was like good to see someone in his corner that could get through to him. And I'm happy to see him win.
Agreed. And before Wick gets here, my last thing is then, to me, like, RDR probably, like, he should have pulled out the fight when Fluffy pulled out. And that and
shit, imagine what Fluffy was thinking. Like, fuck, I should have just stayed in. I would have been able to get through. Like that. I mean, that had to like hurt on 2 fronts.
Yeah. Wick, go ahead. Your thoughts on last Saturday?
Yeah, man. So y'all know me. I'm one of those guys, man. I'm watching it with my eyes and my mind, and I'm wondering what's happening. So let's start from the beginning, man. Round 1, everybody, including myself, and we could hear the commentary. It looked like a really dominant performance from RDR. He had him in dominant position. He had the leg triangles, cutting off his circulation. He was going for chokes. He was, the pitter patter that happens when someone is on your back. We know what that looks like. We've seen it before. Bobby, you know that. Bachens, you know that. But somewhere in the second and that, between mid-second round, third round, Brendan Allen was just more, I guess, ready to take advantage of the moment is like a really good term.
He looked like the fresher guy. That's what it comes down to.
But even in the
He
sense
looked like he didn't take
time.
it on short notice.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you
that's
off.
what I was getting to. He looks like, and everybody was making the commentary about him. Oh, Brendan Allen and RDR training in the same gym, but they don't want. Brendan Allen doesn't want to work with RDR. He felt like he was going to be a competition eventually. Yeah, so he looks like he was going. Well, since you got to fight, I'm gonna be ready for a fight, just in case. I mean, and it paid off. Once again, we're referring to Fluffy Hernandez being in there. My wildest imagination is to say, like, how ready was Fluffy for the fight? Right? If it was going to be like that, like where in preparation for this fight did RDR fall short? You know what I'm saying? Because this should have been the match to catapult him towards where we thought as UFC fans when he comes in champ from one. This was supposed to be the fight that puts him in the place where we go, okay, we get it now. Put him up there in the top, get him top five, gets him to the championship fight. I don't necessarily know what to think at this point because there isn't a injury report somewhere out there. It's not like he broke a rib or his fingers broken, foot's broken, something like that. This was just him being outworked, and even in the sense of him being outworked, does that strip away some of the shine that was on him, so to speak? Because we talked about it when he first came in. We was like, yo, this guy is serious. If you look at it on
when he beat Robert Whitaker's the big sign,
right. When you look at it, when we looked at it on Tapology, we was like, oh man, Ranier DeRitter, look at all of his finishes. He's out here subbing everybody. There's no way that he can come in here and just be, ass. But this is one of those moments where we have to remember there is a bit of a discrepancy between the UFC and other promotions. And this is kind of one of those moments where we go, so you were where now? You used to play with who? Yeah, welcome to the big boys right now, dog. You should have been ready. I don't care who they put in that. I don't care who they put in that ring. And the idea of what I thought or who I thought Ranier DeRitter was coming into the situation where we got a chance to see him, take out Bo Nickel and Robert Whitaker and da-da-da. Yeah, he should have. And I'm not downing Brendan Allen by no means at all. But we thought this was going to be a walk. This was going to be a route. This was going to be it. But for some odd reason, when Fluffy pulled out, maybe even before Fluffy pulled out, he was unprepared to take this fight. But for now, I want to throw out there big shouts out to Brendan Allen, taking advantage of the moment, going out there, doing his call outs, saying some really big names, maybe, biting off a little more than he can chew with some of the names he called out. But when you got that space, you better do it, boy. Like you better, and even if he would have lost by split decision, I still would have gave Brendan Allen some props today. But nah, he gets all the props for going out there, putting out the best effort, working when he wasn't necessarily, promised anything at all. And hopefully, of course, taking the fight on short notice, he gets a little more cheese in his pocket. So big shouts out to Brendan Allen, man. You gained a fan this past weekend for sure.
I mean, I've been a fan of Brendan Allen. I'm glad he got the win. I just didn't like the situation. I kind of get it again, like from the corner aspect of trying to save your guy. But to me, it's not like he was all beat up. You know what I mean? It's not like Brendan Allen was just beating the brakes off of him as far as like punches wise, and he couldn't see, and he was super compromised. It was just cardio. He was just tired. And I just do think like he probably should have pulled out when Fluffy pulled out, and they should have just done redone a main event, or even made you could have made Manier Freniero versus Jasmine Jadjavigius the main event, and I don't think anybody would have batted an eye too much on it. I wanted to get back to the refereeing real quick. The first, you had the mistakes in the Kyle Nelson Matt Frivola fight where Dan Maligata is about it. Bobby alluded to it. 3 seconds left, stops the fight. Kyle Nelson looks like he's going to win via TKO. the fight continues, which is wild. Kyle Nelson does win. And then you get to the Mike Malott, Kevin Holland fight. And how many times does a man got to get kicked in the dick before they, give the man a penalty? Like, poor Kevin Holland's taken it to the balls a few times. Like this, these things got to be fixed. I said, man, yo for yo, Kevin Holland. This is not. That's about as best as you can get.
It like to me, I don't even care about the point. It's more. I mean, Dan Murgliata literally told Kevin Holland, if you do not continue the fight, you will be DQ'd for getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Right? And this isn't like some official that is locally there, like in the area or something. This motherfucker has reffed main events. He's reffed title fights. And this is not the first time. And everyone has a bad night, sure, but he had a terrible night. I mean, it's almost more the bigger takeaway than like anything on the card itself, just because of nothing's ever going to change. I guarantee you he's going to be reffing or actually they might not fly him to, Abu Dhabi because they probably get very good officials. They don't want any fuck ups there. But he's going to be reffing a main event again. So it's there's nothing that's like going to change about it. It's just almost like the poison pill that like we have to accept in the sport. But Kevin Holland absolutely got fucked over. I cannot believe Malott actually is ranked because of that. I know appeals never happened, but Kevin should absolutely appeal that just because Dan Murgliata is a fucking moron. And if you ask me, he should never referee in the UFC again.
And at one point in time, they're like, hey, you got the 5 minutes. It went over the 5 minutes. And then they brought the doctor in, too. Like, that made no sense. But you bring the doctor in inside the 5 minutes.
It just, I was more surprised that there wasn't another official, like, because there's always like someone else on the outside of the cage and stuff. And I think if it wasn't for them, the thing would have probably ended. It was just such a bizarre sequence. And then I'm sorry, Mike Malott, but fuck off with this bullshit. That acting like if you're going to call out a fighter for embellishing a foul, you might want to do one that does not have a long resume of never doing this bullshit before. Right. I mean, to me, that is the clearest no contest as day. I will not acknowledge that as a win for Mike Malott. And,
a guy who's always game, too, in Kevin Holland. Like, Kevin Holland's always game.
Yeah. And I just, it was so bizarre because, like, those scenarios just made the card so despicable. And then at the end of the night, we're like, oh, well, we know at least, we got the main event and that will be good. And not the middle fingers just kept coming. It was like, I'm glad the prelims, had some appetite. And, Ferro, good for her for the win. She really worked Jazz Divisius. That is a tough hometown L. Hopefully, she could get back on the horse. I'm definitely not ruling her out, but Ferro is to be reckoned with for sure.
Yeah. Kevin Holland just said that they had the ref, the doctor, the commissioner all in the cage. Nobody made a fucking decision. Just like Kevin Holland suffer when he's a fighter. He's not going to say he can't. Exactly. It was just he then says it's just a fuck up from top to bottom. Agreed, Kevin. I can't disagree. And Rob's chimed in here, and he's saying that it's not just the problem. Just isn't Dan. The ref and judging pool is way too shallow. Running the sport on 2010 staff members is crazy. Agreed, Rob. Agreed. Like they don't have any new faces or any up and comers. They need to figure that out. And I don't. Pay people their money. Pay them, you know what I mean? Pay people more. That's how you can fix it. Educate people and everything else. Like start educating these judges, start educating these refs, and get them more involved to bring some new people, new blood into it. I think older fighters would be great judges as well. It's something we don't see. Go ahead, Bobby. You had something to say real quick.
I should probably stop talking on it because I'm just going to keep saying hateful shit. Like, you can pay these motherfuckers more money and they will be that employee that takes the raise and does not do dick. It will continue to be shit. Like, without any type of like union to like enforce these things, it's never happening. I mean, plain and simple. Because I mean, you look at like the NFL or something, when there's like a question with, you know, officiating, it's immediately, you know, the next day they'll comment on it and stuff. And these are all things that are, you know, mainly because there are players unions and things to like actually fight for the athletes. And that,
yeah, there's nobody doing
like,
that in the,
and it's just never going to be like that. And so it's, and then like even I have never heard someone come on, like that was actually comical when when he waved off the fight at first. Someone came on the broadcast and was explaining it almost like Mike Pereira or something on the NFL. And it's like, no, like, stop trying to act like you're on that level. Like, this shit is cartoons. Like, fuck off. We know you don't know what you're doing. Like, just resume the bout and make this guy have to win a second time. Like, it is ridiculous that they try to act like they're on the NFL, the NBA, or the MLB's level when there's just no one to like answer to at the end of the day. It's like, oh, well, it's a fuck up, but it's going to happen in the future. So see you next Saturday.
I disagree here. Cross says fighters should be able to negotiate. They should be able to be like, I'm not going to continue. That's like in the NBA. If you get a call to foul, you can't be like, I'm not. I was fouled. I'm not continuing to play because I was fouled. Like, it's the ref's job to call it and to you know, follow through the rules. So it's not on the fighter.
Man.
Go ahead, Whit.
Yeah, when you throw a couple things into the context, man, you know, like y'all said, first of all, Kevin Holland's not the type to just go out there and not give it his all, not give it 110%, and somehow, you know, power through this. But I think part of what a ref's job is, especially a professional ref with the resume of Dan Miragliotta, man, you got to use your eyes. You know what I'm saying? We saw what we saw, and you got to go look, man. I know that you want to keep going, but I'm gonna save. You got to save him from himself. You got to say, and you also have to save the product. I think sitting here on a Wednesday, if the decision was made to stop the fight based on
take a damn point away, like that's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Take a point away or stopping the fight. If either one of those decisions would have been made, when we sit here on Wednesday, I think we don't have the same type of vitriol because Dan Miragliotta is such a storied ref. If he took a point away or if he made a decision to stop the fight, we would go, that's great refereeing. That's somebody doing their job. That's somebody stepping into a place in which we think they should. Hey, look, don't you know this is egregious? We all saw it on numerous occasions. And somebody who, you know, for lack of a better words, has enough balls to go out there and pretty much do anything, in a sense of, you know, fighting in the ring like Kevin Holland, that's a really offsetting thing. You know what I'm saying? And as a man with a pair, hello, you know what I'm saying? You flick me one good time, bro, I'm down. Okay, so it's over. So I can only imagine how that would affect you if you had to perform for another 10, 15 minutes by the time. So I really hate the fact that, of course, we're going to talk bad about Dan Miragliotta, but it is what it is.
Fuck him. Like, fuck Miragliotta. He fucked up.
Yeah, he deserves it. By now, he deserves it. And that's what he gets. But for real, big shouts out to everybody who is agreeing with us right now in the chats. It's wild to see, but and at the same time, I don't want to take away from something that kind of was a big deal. You know, yeah, I know. I'm gonna tell him about it. Drew Dober, one time for Drew Dober out here in the streets, breaking. Didn't he broke whose record? Somebody's record. I think.
He's trying to break DP's record, I believe.
He's trying to break DP's record. Okay, I knew it was something. So shout out to Drew Dober. I like Drew Dober. And then, like I had already mentioned, Manure Ferro, which we know we can't really pronounce the name sometimes, but yeah, you know, it's bad that we had the product get sullied on multiple occasions when we look forward to seeing these type of events where, you know, it's UFC Canada night or something like that, but it's not hockey, ladies and gentlemen. It's UFC, and they messed it up this one time. I promise you, they did.
Yeah, but I would have took like 1 point ain't enough. Like you take 2 points, you make that a 10-8 round because you saw the fight afterwards. It was that much fight altering. Like Holland could not do anything at all, and it's all because he got kicked in his pills. So, you know, you take the 10-8, which pretty much insinuates that like Malat, you know, needs, and I don't know, the whole thing was just a mess. I mean, I personally would rebook it. You know, I do just, yeah. Fuck Dan Mergliata.
Let's move to this week, gentlemen. It is the return of the greatest heavyweight of all time. That's right. We haven't seen him in a year. It's Beastie Boy Chris Barnett time, baby, at UFC 321. You guys thought I was going to say Tom Aspinall. It is UFC 321, headlined by Tommy Aspinall versus Bobby's favorite fighters and Cyril Gane.
The fucking
This card is you look up and down. It's a pretty nice card. The top 5, obviously, we'll look into the main card where all 5 fights have ranked fighters. That we haven't seen that in a while. But even
Abu Dhabi gets the respect with the
the prelims. I just mentioned my guy Beastie Boy. You got the Iron Turtle on this card taking on Ikram. You got I like to call Nascarat, however you say his last name. I like to I call him in shape. Now I can't even Kevin Gastelum because he looks like Kevin Gastelum, in shape Kevin Gastelum. So that's you got him versus the big Australian that everybody's high on, Skull Kid. But Wade, I'll start with you. You got Rebecca on this card as well. So there's some bangers on the prelims. Walter Walker is on this card as well. Remember, he was got taken off the prelims or off of the Brazil card. I think he's taken on. Is that Louis Sutherland, the guy that said he was going to suck Dana's toes from the contender?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's one of Tommy's boys out of his camp. I know it's not that dude.
Okay. He looks like him in the picture. So you got Nathaniel Wood on this card as well. Bobby, I'll start with you. You just on the prelims, is there a fight that you liking the most right here?
I mean, the Walter Walker was kind of a late addition to this card, and that one's pretty entertaining to me.
Mr. Heel Hook himself. Walter Walker.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure you know Louis has pretty much been training the heel hook defense, so it'd be good to see if that holds up. I always have Rebecca circled whenever he's fighting. I mean, you know that. Normally I'd say he deserves to be on the main card, but I mean, like you alluded to, there's plenty of kind of ranked fighters on the main card, so. That one's interesting. I think the Chris Barnett fight will be fireworks. You know, those some big boys. We'll see how long it lasts, but he normally makes it pretty good. And the Ikram Iron Turtle fight, I'm really excited for it, but at the same time, really kind of hurts my soul looking at the matchmaking. So we'll be turtle strong, but I mean, God damn, they are doing him no favors. That is a tough fucking out.
It is. Ikram's tough. What about you on the prelims? Is there a fight that you're circling the most as far as must see?
Yeah, man. You know how it goes, man. It's 321. It's being held out there in Abu Dhabi. What are we looking for, ladies and gentlemen? We are looking for fighters of Islam. So of course we got 1, 2, 3. Maybe that might even come out with W's. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in here. Ikram, of course, with the Iron Turtle, like Bobby mentioned, is one we're going to keep our eye on. Ahmad Al-Salwadi is another one going up against Mateus Camijo. That's one where, you know, with that idea of Mateus Camijo coming in, he's been really kind of highly drafted, if you will. Of course, another Brazilian fighter, you know, where even though if you look at his record, it's not that many fights because it's 12 fights in total, 3 losses, 9 wins. You know, when you think about where he's been and what he's done, he's kind of a scary guy in this matchup. But you know, just for some fun, just for the shout out, real talk. Chris Barnett, dog, come on, man. Let's see him put on for America out here. I do love seeing him take guys on and literally pummeling them to death. I think that's a really good one. The Nathaniel Wood and Jose Delgado one, a lot of people sleep on Nathaniel Wood. I've seen maybe some of his stuff that was on Instagram for another promotion before it was Bellator. Now, of course, now he was in Bellator prior to. But this guy's got 20-something fights and is really, really seasoned. To me, I really feel like this is an opportunity for him to put up or shut up. You know, and in all actuality, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's unable to really be a main card type of fighter. So I'm looking forward to Nathaniel Wood. And then it's obvious that we all want to see the big guys or maybe the oil barons. They want to see the heavyweights on this fight. That's why we got Valterra Walker on this card. That's why we got Chris Barnett on the card. And then of course, like you said, Nasser whatever his name is, and Quinlan Salkett. That is another one. So there's a lot of knockout potential on this card where these fights may not last that long. But of course, when you got you got that big money on the top end, you know, we want to see it happen. So yeah, there's a couple of them on here. Oh yeah, and I can't forget, for real seriously though, Jalton Almeida, Alexander Volkov.
Yeah, we're getting to the main card. Wait, that's on the main card. We're getting ready to get to it.
Yeah. Just everything else before the main card. Yeah, there's a couple of them on there. But I don't think it's going to last very long, bro. Not at all.
We'll I like they stacked it with heavyweights. Like, well done.
Yeah.
Light heavy and heavy is out here in the streets in Abu Dhabi. Real talk.
Yeah, William said it best. Let's hope Barnett doesn't jump during introductions. He got hurt the last time, I believe it was. Let's get into the main card. Every fighter on this card is ranked. Plus, you obviously got the 2 title fights at the top. And it is, all interesting matchups here. The card opens up with the returning Alexander Rakic. We haven't seen him in over a year's time. He is on a 3-fight losing streak. I mean, it's really been like 4 years technically since he's won a fight. Now, some of that was due to injury. He has taken on, I don't even know how to say the guy's name. Wait, you want to make a crack at it? Mazur. Azmat Murzakov? Yeah,
Mirzakhanov or something like that. Azmat Mirzakhanov. That's what it looks like.
Hey, that's why you're here, buddy. It is number 7 versus number 10. Murkoff is 15-0, 11 wins by knockout, 9 first-round finishes. So his fights end early. Whit, I'll start with you. This is an even fight. Both fighters, Rakic is -105 and Azmat is -115.
Yeah, man. This is pick 'em on this one. Of course, we like Alexander Rakic here on the show. We've seen him put on some really good ones. Of course, recently he's been on some losses, but it's been some time. But can he do it again? I'm talking about a year or so ago when he was doing when we saw the Magomed Ankalaev fight. We were thinking that Rakic was on his way up. I remember us having that conversation. But of course, he lost to Yuri, he lost to Jan, and after that, I feel like taking some time off to regain your faculties to make
New
sure
team,
that
new
you are who you
coaches
are.
for Rakic.
Yeah, you said new coaches, right?
New team, new coaches. Yep.
Right. Regaining your faculties, getting into a new place, a new space, and kind of regaining a little bit of that edge that he had in the past is what I am expecting. Do I think that he can just go in there and knock out Azamat? I do not think so. But it's meant to be a close fight. It's being slated like this for a reason. Let's not sleep on Azamat, but let's see where we got. Let's go to Tapology real quick, just because 72% of the people on Tapology, that's out of 1,481, are going with Mazakhanov against Rakic on this one. I guess maybe they're looking at what's been going on with Rakic with those 3 losses from last year, and they're saying he is not going to bounce back a year later. I myself personally, I'm going to go the other way, man. I'm looking for Rakic to do this one. I'm looking for him to do it by decision, though. I feel like he's going to start slow to kind of get his bearings. It's not he does. You do not want to walk in there against Azamat and get your head, get the top blown off, which is obviously what he does because he's got 11 wins by KO. But I want to give Rakic the benefit of the doubt this time. He's going to come back, new place, new situation in Abu Dhabi. Let's go ahead and go Rakic on that one, bro.
All right. Bobby, what about you?
Is Rakic the one ranked 10?
Rakic is 7 somehow, and he hasn't won a fight in almost 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah. Anytime I see a comment from Rob, I just imagine him like yelling it in space, so it always gets me to crack up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's you hear the list of guys that Ratchet lost to, and
it's the legit who's who.
Yeah,
like the cream of the
I
crop.
mean, lost to 2 former champions, or 3 former champions. My bad on disrespecting our boy Jan there. And I don't know, kind of like Whit was saying, the time off might do him good. I mean, granted, Azamat has been, doing quite a bit of decent work. He's been a lot more active. So I'm kind of surprised it's even, though, with the layoff. I mean, that kind of just shows right there that you got to put some respect on his name. I mean, normally when someone's coming back in for a year layoff, they'd be like a probably 2-1 underdog, especially if they're fighting someone else that's been active. So I think it's a decent test for but I don't. I think Rakic is going to be able to just get the win. I'd be kind of surprised if this went to decision, just with the styles, even though it is 3 rounds. But I fully understand Rob and saying he hasn't won a fight in 5 years. Like, why is this on the main card? But I don't know. We've seen some bounce back lately, so hopefully he can bounce back as well. I'll go with him.
Yeah, Rakic's last win was against Thiago Santos, March 6, 2021. So
immediately shattering any confidence I had on picking him. And me picking him is probably a death sentence, so he's probably going to get smoked.
Yeah,
before that, he had a win against. Before that, he had a win against Anthony Smith. Then he lost to Jan Blachowicz in 2022. That's when he got hurt in May. I believe he tore his ACL. Came back in April of last year, lost to Yuri. then came back and lost to Magomed in October. So this same type of card, the Abu Dhabi card last year. Here he is after a year off. Like I said, he changed teams. Mr.
Did he say
Osman,
which team by chance or no?
yeah, I think. Hold on, I might be able to tell you. I don't know who his team was before. It's just his team is Gym 23. That's I don't know what the fuck who that is.
Okay. Yeah, I was just more, so many people have been popping up with Nitzik and stuff. I was wondering. Maybe.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Osmot's 15-0, never lost.
So
and it's a pick'em. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I mean, on what he's been doing, that is just, I don't know. I think the line's very telling. Maybe it's more the style of the fight, why it's like that. But yeah.
William says Dominic Rakic 2.0. Who the fuck is that, Jim? I have no idea. I'm just telling you what ESPN's telling me.
So check this out, right? I'm looking at Tapology, right? I'm looking because I wanted to know too. Tapology once again strikes as I get to dive into this rabbit hole of who the F is MT Gym 21 out of Vienna, Austria. But the names may not strike you as household names, but the wins and losses on this chart will, if you click on it on Tapology. And I'm saying though, they got some guys that have been winning in the past 5-6 years. You know what I'm saying? They got a couple of good wins, some good subs, some good knockouts, some good TKOs. So maybe, him transposing himself to where he is currently at MT Gym 23 is it may help a little bit, man. Like you said, so many losses in so many years. It's crazy.
I'm going Asmat, baby. Give me Asmat, stay undefeated.
Asmat. You're like, fuck his team. It won't make a difference.
Fuck his team. Rakic is boring. Give me Asmat to get it done. We get to the next fight, and it is how about the UFC? Always taking care of their people, right? We know after a year ago in December, we felt like Volkov beat Cyril Gane, and Dana's on video saying, "Hey, we'll make it right. We'll make it right to you." Well, that guy that he beat in with our own eyes, that the judges gave it to Cyril Gane, is fighting for the title, and Alexander Volkov draws the card of none other than Mr. Jolton Almeida. This is the number 2 heavyweight versus the number 5 heavyweight. Volkov is the slight underdog at plus 185. Almeida, slight favorite at minus 225. Almeida, we haven't seen Volkov since that Cyril Gane fight in December. We did have Almeida hasn't fought since January when he beat Spivak. He's on a 2-fight winning streak, has won 4 out of his last. Well, really, before that, he's only has 1 loss on his record, to be honest with you, and that was against Curtis Blades. Well, he's 22-3, but 1 loss at heavyweight. Volkov has fought the all of who's at heavyweight. Bobby, I'll start with you. Your thoughts here and the great favor that Dana White did Alexander Volkov.
Well, I'll touch on the favor in a sec, but did you just tell me he's number 2? Is that not the biggest troll job in the world? They put him at 2. Like, here you can have the ranking, but this is meaningless anyway. So I would say, as far as the doing him a favor, they are. I mean, this to me is the number 1 contender fight for who's fighting Tom next.
Yeah.
And it probably is already a tough sell to continue to be going with rematches. But I think if he's able to get a victory against Almeida, who is a beast in the division, and, they're pretty high on talent-wise, I think it would definitely be enough to kind of – so, yeah. But at the same time, I get the slight because I don't think I'm the only one in here that does not think Cyril Gane won that last fight. And
he lost the last fight. Surreal lost to Volkov.
He did, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, with the wonderful judging, and you look it up while I'm ranting. Did Dan Miragliotta ref that fight? Because I would, if he did, I mean, I would just guess maybe because of his size, just throwing it out there, it'd be either him or Goddard. And I know I'm getting off topic here, but if they actually fly Dan Miragliotta to Abu Dhabi within 4 days, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. Like that will be just a bridge too far.
Hey,
But,
somebody in the comments, go check Dan Miragliotta's Twitter and see if he's getting off of a plane, ladies and gentlemen. We need to know is Dan getting off of a plane in any of his pictures on Instagram. We need to know now. Thank you.
But like getting back to the heavyweights, like I love this fight. I think it's a good addition to be on there. I do agree with your sentiment. Like, damn, like they are really doing him no favors. I kind of figured hey, we'll make it right is we'll give you a winnable fight to have you keep the spot, or I don't know, maybe we'll just decide not to give Cyril Gane the title shot because we've done that so many times and he's done nothing to fucking earn it. And but we're not talking about Gane yet, thank God. We're talking about and I don't know. I definitely probably would favor Almeida in this just for the grappling side, but Volkov has kind of gotten used to people trying to take him down. But I do think, especially with it being 3 rounds, it might be difficult, for him to do that the whole time. And I would say, though, every time Almeida has looked kind of beatable, has obviously been more on the feet. So if Volkov can keep it on the feet, I think it would be pretty entertaining because, I don't think Almeida is like afraid to strike or anything. I would just kind of favor Volkov in that.
Keep him at a distance. Use that length.
Yeah, and that's gonna be his best chance. Keep him at the distance, use the length, and avoid the takedowns. But
make sure they comb the hair during the in between rounds.
Yeah, I mean that might help. Or a defining moment there. But I don't know. I think Almeida is fairly favored in this, right? Like minus 250 or something.
225.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're giving some respect because, it's obviously heavyweight. But I think if Almeida is able to have the fight that he wants, I would see him probably getting the victory. But I can't really rule out Volkov to, be able to get it done. Almeida has been beaten before, and he has looked very beatable at times. But he was calling for the Tom fight, that being Almeida, prior to all this, when they were trying to sort this all out. Spoiler alert, it's the fight I fucking wanted, not this, we'll get to that later. But for the gavel, give me Almeida.
Whit?
Yeah, man. All right. So once again, man, y'all know me. It's pretty much, straightforward on this one. We talked, Bobby covered it pretty well, man. Volkov is someone that I do like in this matchup. Yes, I know he's ranked number 2. Yes, I know it did look like he could have beat Cyril Gane that time. But somehow, some way, he's out here on Tapology after 3,687 votes. He's on the bottom end, man. Before thinking 48% is going to have him win by either knockout for the majority, and then everybody else is pretty much thinking Almeida with a 52% by submission. I don't know, bro. This is a time in which I think Almeida could sneak in there and get this one. Volkov may not be completely prepared to take it to the ground, take it to the mat, get put in a dominant position, and then work his way out. I don't think I've seen too much of it from him. Even through 49 fights, Alexander Volkov is not the most ground-ready heavyweight. But Jalin Almeida is pretty much right there in terms of who does what when it comes to the heavyweight as far as, grappling and the jiu-jitsu. And of course, we've seen it on multiple occasions. Almeida will get you in a horrible position and he will submit you. Hey, look, punches from back mount on Sergey Spivak. Who does that? Rear naked choke. Who does that? And then, of course, there's an opportunity for him to get you in a really wrong place and jump a guillotine or get you in a choke to just drain energy. That is exactly what he does. And for me, Volkov is a great fighter. This is an opportunity to put his name on the map again. But I'm going to have to go with Jonathan Almeida on this one. I can't even lie. I want to see it go to decision. I'm thinking decision, but there's an opportunity where if he's not paying attention, man, that arm bar, a Kimura, because he can't do those two. It's real possible that we see Jonathan Almeida get another big finish in the early rounds on this one. So yeah, Jonathan Almeida by sub or full blown decision.
Yeah. I'm right there almost with you guys. I wanted to Cross mentioned something it's crazy. I did look at the reach here. Volkov only has a 1 inch longer reach. He just seems like he would be the taller, longer fighter because he's 6'7" and Almeida's only 6'3". So
he's
wild.
Every inch of that 6'3". That dude is he looks way bigger than he is for sure.
Who's that? Almeida?
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously only weighs 235 and Volkov weighs 254, so neither one's really cutting weight.
Could be guys at the combine taking these measurements, so who knows how accurate they are.
Rob probably said it best, as Volkov is very inconsistent. One fight he looks, when he beat the other Russian, what's his name?
I thought you were going to say Cyril John. When he beat, when he beat
Pavlovich.
Yeah.
When he beat Pavlovich, it was unanimous decision, but he just beat him for 3 rounds. It wasn't even close. That was eye-opening to me. And then, he had the close fight with Cyril Gane, but Jonathan Almeida, his own lone loss is to Curtis Blades. And really, I tell everybody, Curtis Blades beats everybody but people who punch hard. And that's because he gets knocked out at that point in time.
And Almeida was having success in that fight before he finally got caught with the elbows and got caught.
Yeah. I'm going Jonathan Almeida. I think he's probably next for the title fight, maybe, depending on some certain things. Let's get into maybe another number 1 contender fight, and that is in the bantamweight division. It is number 2 Umar Nurmagomedov coming off the title fight loss, taking on everybody's favorite hater, Mario Batista. Number 9. We haven't seen Umar since the title fight earlier this year, back in January. When he lost to Merab. Mario Batista has been on a nice run here. He's 16-2. The last time we saw him was in June, where he beat Patchy Mix. Before that, everybody's favorite when he beat Jose Aldo. So Batista gets his biggest test to date. He is 16-2. Umar 18-1, but Umar, the heavy favorite here.
That line is insane. That was my first note.
At minus 625 is Umar, and then Mario Batista, the dog, at plus 455. Whit, I'll start with you. Your thoughts here on what a lot of people are saying the number 1 contender in bantamweight.
Yeah, man. Bantamweight. All of those fans of the guys coming out there and getting it on. This is where you're gonna meet your maker on this one, bro. We talk about Umar Nurmagomedov, and I don't know if you know, but y'all know where he's from? Anybody have an idea?
California.
California. I don't know.
Right, but party.
somewhere out there in Dagestan, he's, this is where he's at. And I don't know if you know, but he's got a brother out there in another promotion, and they are both somewhat
They're cousins. Are they brothers?
I think they're brothers. They're not. I swear they're brothers. The Nurmagomedov brothers. Because if you look at them, they look the same. They are. I'm talking about. They favor one another. Anyway, the point
cousins
is,
Khabib.
Cousins. Hey, they're cousins. Khabib's cousins, man. And when we saw him lose to Merab earlier this year, that was the first time we really got an opportunity to see what a better gas tank and more polished wrestling looks like. Besides that, we have not got an opportunity to see anyone do such a thing to this particular young man. I am in the same mindset that the skill set that he had before is still the same skill set. He just met someone who was better and more prepared.
Broke his hand in the fight. Broke his hand in the fight too.
Yeah, broke his hand in the fight and still kept it going. And even got an opportunity to get out there and throw some good punches, even with the broken hand. So, with a healed hand, with an opportunity to wrestle some more, is our guy going to take an L? I honestly have to disagree with anyone who says that Mario Batista is not game. I disagree with anyone who says Mario Batista can't win this fight. I disagree with anyone that tells me Mario Batista does not deserve to be in this fight. But at this point in time, I am honestly thinking that Nurmagomedov will be on a rampage to get back to face Merab and take what he's learned and what has probably been, drilled in his head from, being back home in Dagestan after taking a tough loss and implementing it against Merab. I don't know. Talk about they look the same because of generational inbreeding. Look, somehow, bro. If I want to get a side by side up right now, while
I think the cousins for sure. I don't know if the in PFLs are they brothers or not. I don't know.
While Bobby's doing his picks, I'm gonna find this out. But in the end, guys, I really feel like Nurmagomedov is on his way to trying to get back to Merab because it's not very many times that we see those fighters take the losses that we seen him take, and I don't think he's gonna let anything get in his way. No shots at Batista. His 2 losses are crucial losses, but there is only 2 for a reason. I think this one goes decision. I think they do the thing that they do best, where he keeps him at a really big disadvantage with the ground game. But we've seen Umar swing out. So there's a possibility that actually, this is a point battle as well. So I want to go with Umar on this one, but I'm going to go decision all the way.
Bobby, who you got here?
I mean, this is easily the most anticipated fight on this card for me. It's not even close. I mean, we'll get some, interesting heavyweight fights and stuff, and that's all good. But this fight definitely means something. I'm glad they're finally giving Batista like a highly ranked, respectable opponent. It's more than, time for that. And, he keeps winning, and the promotion, like last time, they didn't even give him a post-fight interview when he made Patchy look like a clown. So, I mean, and they're really, they're giving him an opportunity here, but it's definitely a tough opportunity, especially with coming back. I think you need to take the time off with the broken hand. It makes sense, no reason to come back later. Originally, I thought this fight was going to be 5 rounds in a main event. And I think when they, made the decision that Islam was always going to be on MSG, they, pulled Umar from this, because I thought this was originally announced as like the Qatar event when before they, announced the other fights and stuff. So I was kind of expecting it to be 5. I think it kind of deserves to be 5. I think it'd be a lot more entertaining if it would be 5, especially like Mario always has that pace to just like kind of wear on you and slow you down. And that plays out a lot better over 25 minutes than it does for 15. I mean, especially when these guys are like that highly ranked. But I think the line is pretty wild to me. Like, I think a lot of that is the Nurmagomedov name, which is probably like very justifiable. But I would think the fight would be a lot closer than what the odds would suggest. I think it's really just going to depend on if Umar could get the takedown immediately, or if Mario is able to nullify that. I mean, we saw Merab be able to take down Umar in the later rounds, but this is kind of only a 3-round fight, and I'm not sure if Mario is, kind of there yet. But at the same time, I think his skill set would almost line up perfectly against Merab, and that would be an entertaining fight. So I undoubtedly think this is a number one contender fight. I know there'll be a lot of people that push back saying, well, Umar needs a second fight. I mean, basically, nobody else will fight him. Like, credit to Batista for taking the fight and trying to fight him. All these other names you're calling for, they're not signing the dotted line. So people are going to be picky and choosy. He's going to get one more fight, and that's easily the biggest fight for Merab. I mean, to have like a real rivalry. I mean, credit to Peter Yan for taking the fight, but this is the real rematch that we really want to see. So I would probably have to. I think the only one that can beat him in the division is the current champion. But would it shock me if Batista was able to somehow figure out a way to get this done? It really wouldn't, with kind of the run he's been on. Like, it would almost be like that perfect guy to kind of upset and, just not see it coming. And then, Merab has a fresh, new opponent on a surging win streak to win. But I don't know. Every way I come back to it, I just think, especially with the 3 rounds, Umar will figure out a way to just get it done.
Yeah, Mario's on an 8-fight win streak. He has become the ultimate hater. It seems like, this man was booed out the building when he beat Jose Aldo. People were booing him. Even though he won. Like you mentioned, they didn't even give this man an interview after he beat Patchy Mix. Sometimes in life you just become the villain. You see yourself in the villain, and sometimes you see yourself as the dog on the card, baby. I'm going with Mario Batista at plus 455. He gets it done, pulls off the opposite, and faces Merab because everybody hates Mario Batista, baby.
Yeah, I mean, for an underdog call, it's hard not to give that a twirl, because that is pretty wild line.
It is a wild line, and he is the ultimate villain, and I'm gonna keep rooting for Mario Batista because everybody else hates him.
Hold on, guys. Got a fact check.
The ultimate heel. Go ahead, Whit.
It's so they're cousins. Both hail from Dagestan and are part of the famed Nurmagomedov fighting family, which includes former UFC lightweight champion Khabib. There we go.
Yeah, Mario Batista's become the heel that he never thought. He's like that heel that he just became the heel because he became the heel. Not like he had a turn or talk shit on the mic. No, he's just the heel because everybody hates him because he's beating all the heroes.
Yeah, I mean, guys like that get great win streaks like this will just always get the hate. And then, fucking idiots like Kyle Baharo will like still have a fan base like, oh yeah, he can do no wrong. And I get he doesn't have a fan-friendly style, but hey, people say the same shit about Merab. So, if he gets the win, he'll probably definitely be next in line. But I got to side with Umar still.
Let's go to the co-main event. It's actually a rematch from a couple years ago. As we know, Whaley has vacated the strawweight title, so this is for the vacant strawweight title. It is Virna Jandiroba, but I can't even say her last name. Or Rahul Rosas in the female version versus Mackenzie Dern. Dern had won the previous matchup. Dern is the slight favorite at minus 155. She is 15-5. Vierna is 22-3. They did fight. When was the last? Hold on, I want to see when they last fought. It's been in 2020, so it's been a couple years, 5 years since Mackenzie Dern beat her. Bobby, I'll start with you. Who you like in the co-main event and the new strawweight champion?
Yeah, I mean, kind of interesting thing to, ironically, even though it's a rematch, you're still getting like something fresh in the division. Like, you know, there'll be a new champion at the end of this. It threw me off that Vierna was the underdog in this.
Same,
you know,
same.
Full disclosure, I assume that would be the dog of the night on the card for you, not the gigantic swing like Shinya Otane, you know, swing for the fence in Batista. But mad respect, I could, you know, it'd be fun to see play out. But you know, I think they're both pretty well versed on the ground. You would think in the grappling exchanges that Mackenzie would be able to hold her own. But I don't know, like Vierna has definitely improved so much from their last fight. So, I mean, I think you almost have to throw a lot of that out. But at the same time, Dern is, you know, training back with, you know, Jason, the original like striking coach he had. So, you know, I think it's a perfect fight to, you know, for an inaugural thing. You know, I know there'll be, you know, the plenty of jokes like, oh, well, you know, we all know why this fight is happening. But at the same time, you know, you got 2 title fights. What more can you ask for? But I don't know. Like, I'm definitely going to be pulling for Mackenzie. But I think Vienna is just going to kind of find a way to get it done in the end. And whether that is just through a decision, I think we're pretty live for a submission on both sides of this. But, you know, I could see Vierna trying to, you know, hold her up against the fence and kind of, you know, beat her up for a little bit of position. But at the same time, they do have kind of, they've seen each other before, so they semi know each other. So I wouldn't rule Dern out at all. I mean, the odds makers are saying she's favored, so, you know, whatever that's worth for. But I think Vierna will figure out a way to get this one done in the end and be the new champion.
Rob says ugly chicks beat attractive ones most of the time in fighting. I don't know why the fight gods have a type. Amen, Rob. Amen. Vierna Witt is on a 5-fight winning streak, so it's been a while since she's lost. So she's actually 5 fight. The last fight she lost was against Amanda Hebus back in 2021. So it's been some time for her. It's been since April since she beat Yan Xiaonan. This last time we saw him for Mackenzie. She is on a 2-fight winning streak. She beat Amanda Hebus back in January of this year. Who you like in this one, Whit?
Yeah, man. So it's really tough, bro. Rob kind of hit the nail on the head. If you just, you know, once again, the eyesight always, you know, kind of catches me. But the pretty girls lose, man. Mackenzie Dern, you know, great fighter. Just took a really big win against Amanda Hebus earlier this year, a couple months ago, I think in January. I think I watched that one, you know, while I think in the space with Rob. Shout out to the Rob and the space this weekend. I guess we'll be in there early. Me and Bobby talking a little trash. But it's tough, dog. Like, it's tough for me when you have a fight this close to when you last had one, like Amanda, Vierna, yeah, I feel like this is an opportunity for her to kind of stand out there because, you know, you beat Yan Xiaonan, and at one time Yan Xiaonan was one of the scariest fighters in the division. When you this close to beating a dominant fighter like that, you kind of retain that energy, you know, that perseverance, that strength, that mindset that you had. And I think it's a possibility that Mackenzie Dern gets put out there. Jandiroba right now on Tapology, out of 1,311 votes, they got Jandiroba by 76%, winning by decision. I'm kind of there too. I would not be surprised if somehow, some way, Mackenzie gets her into some really compromising situations. But I just think that the idea of dominating from top to bottom, to point out, I think that's all up Vienna's alley, and I'm pulling for Mackenzie, but I mean my brain, if I'm not thinking with my heart, is definitely going to tell me Jandiroba on this one. So I'm going to go with Vienna, and let's get that vacant belt, baby.
Go ahead, Bobby.
I was just saying that when he was doing the heart in the head, I thought he was.
Which head?
Get my mind.
Hey, we gotta we gotta use our eyes, just like Bob said, right?
I am. I think I'm with you guys here. I'm going to be rooting for Mackenzie Dern. She's easy to root for, but I think Raul Rojas Jr., the female version in Virna, is going to be the new UFC Women's Strawweight Champion of the World, Virna Jabarona.
I forgot to mention, like, if Wei Li was still the champion, Vierna undoubtedly deserved the next shot.
Correct. Yeah.
And it kind of sucks that we're going to miss out on that one, because I was looking forward to seeing how that would kind of play out. But if Vierna wins, like, she absolutely deserves this. It'd be a cool spot to see for her.
Yeah, agreed. And Raul Rojas, the female version, I think she would have lost to Wei Li, but that's neither here. We may get that fight. What if she loses to next month and she drops back down? We could get that fight.
That fight's only a month away.
Yeah. We get to the main event. The man who this card was built around is what they like to say. And it is none other than the reigning heavyweight champion, Tom Aspinall, finally returns after the saga of, John Jones in over a year. He is taking on none other than Ciryl Gane, getting his not first, not second, but third crack at the heavyweight title. It is... Tommy is plus 355 favorite. Ciryl Gane plus 280. That's, I think, DraftKings on ESPN Bet. They have Tom Aspinall minus 400. Ciryl Gane plus 300. The last time we saw Ciryl again was that Volkov fight back in December of last year. So it's been quite the layoff for both heavyweights. Not the heavyweight title fight that we were thought we would see, but nonetheless, here we are, Bobby. Does Ciryl Gane have any sort of fucking chance?
Oh, of course you have to phrase it to me that way. Oh, God. I mean,
What's the pressure? Let me ask you guys this. What is any pressure on Tom to try to beat him faster than Jones? I don't think so.
No, not really. I mean, it's I at one point thought that, and then I came to the realization that it really doesn't matter like what he does. People are kind of still gonna, they just need to see it, and or John Jones needs more tape. But I don't know. Like you asked. Is there a chance for Gane? And just based off the betting odds, apparently Vegas thinks so. I mean, you have Umar, who's a 6-1 favorite, and this match I would put far more in that price range than what the odds are. But I don't know. I mean, they both been off, and every scenario where Gane wins, it's like with some caveat, like, oh well, Tom has had knee issues in the past. Like, what if he like slips on some ice, or if he gets injured, or if he goes into the fight with 3 broken ribs, or if he. But I haven't like really seen anything like, well, what if Cyril Gane is just able to maintain the distance and have a great takedown defense and stay off the like. It's always a scenario where like Tom is fucking up. It's not a scenario where like, oh well, we'll get. And what's Rob saying here? Because I can only imagine his.
He said, I need a draw or double KO or something. I hate this fight with all my hate. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the fact that it is what it is because it's not the fight we wanted.
I understand the generational hate watch, and I'm normally the person lighting the match, just more than happy to watch it all burn. But I'm sorry, not in this case. This is just terrible. Like, the only tape I could find on Cyril Gane was watching Den of Thieves 2. And I did not see anything in Den of Thieves 2 to think that he would get it done. And, like he talks about his past, like, I just made one mistake with John Jones. He made multiple mistakes in that fight, which added to it. We all don't think that he beat, Volkov. Am I naive to think that there is no scenario where he cannot, like, win? Obviously not. I mean, it's MMA. They're heavyweights. It's a huge sport. But I just emphatically despise that opinion. Like, fucking, I would expect Aspinall to use his grappling, maybe strike early, but just with everything that he's seen with Gane, I don't see how he does not go for a takedown, get the takedown, and find the submission.
We saw Francis Ngannou, who is not known to wrestle or anything like that. Wrestle and takedown.
Well, that was also on a torn ACL too. Like,
Agreed.
Imagine if Francis like had both of his legs, and I mean, I don't know. Like, if for some reason Gane gets the top position on Tom in a reversal or something, I just think he'll go for a leg lock or something. Like, I just trust Tom's fight IQ a lot more than Cyril Gane. Like, shout out to if he dies, he dies. Like a true Frenchman, that man despises Cyril Gane. He doesn't want him representing France MMA. Like, he, prefers Imavov. And like the real guys, they're like actually good at, mixed martial arts. And I just, it might sound bitter here, but I just don't think that Gane deserves this title shot. And it's kind of irrelevant to breaking down the fight. But I just hope Tom fucks him up badly, whether that's knocking him out or finishing him. If you're asking me, is there pressure on Tom? Absolutely there is. But like in our scenario of how we view it, like in reality, I don't think Tom cares about any of that. But like you see in his interviews, he's like already playing with the media, like, I'm hoping to get a controversial decision. And I mean, we need more of that in the sport. Like, we need people to be comical about the situation they had. So give me Tommy Aspinall by what I mean. I don't think it was any secret that I was going to not pick Gane in this fight. And if you want to watch the world burn, more power to you. But this man does not deserve the heavyweight title. And I just hope he emphatically loses. And then, Tom can get back in there, fight the winner of Volkov and Almeida, and just get activity going.
Mark Francis.
No, that bullshit isn't happening. Like,
Alex.
Your breath. That ain't happening either.
John
Alex,
Jones.
No, none of them want to fight him.
That's for next week's show. That's for next week's show.
Yeah, we'll save that rant for next weekend. But yeah, Tommy Aspinall for the gavel.
Whit, your thoughts? Does Surreal God have any fighting chance?
All right, guys. So we're gonna do this just like normal, man. All right, we already looking at it on Tapology. The numbers are speaking eerily towards what we're already kind of leaning towards as a whole right now. Minus 25, minus 425 for Tom Aspinall, and plus 320 for Serial Gone as a moderate underdog. That's on Tapology, of course. And then out of 2,906 voters, 94% are saying that Tom Aspinall will win by either knockout or submission. So we're looking for like a rear naked choke or something like that, because I really don't know Tom to do anything too fancy. It's like, how does Serial Gone? My thing is, and I'm not. And let's be honest. I'm not trying to discredit Serial Gone right now. Let's just take it. Let's take it for what it is. How does Serial Gone win this fight? By sticking and moving, by keeping out of arm's reach for Tom, who can possibly pretty much out wrestle a lot of the people in this heavyweight division. Experience and cardio kind of play into it a little bit. We saw Serial Gone go toe to toe with Ngannou. We saw him get demolished by John, but those are two of the quote unquote best fighters ever in the division, two of them. Besides that, like, can we see him make some moves in the clinch? Get a little bit of that Muay Thai going. Maybe he can get some points. Maybe he can catch Tom off guard. And somewhere in there, he's got to have the mental capacity to do this, right? I mean, he is a fighter. He's not just anybody, and he has fought the who's who. And he's won a couple, but he's lost to two of the greatest. But then throw all of that out the freaking window. Pack that up, put it in a bag, wrap it up, put it outside, kick it to the corner, put it in a trash can. It's Wednesday. Trash man comes on Thursday. I do not want to see this on Friday morning. I want it to be gone. Aspinall with the takedown. Aspinall with the fast start. Aspinall with the pressure. Let's go ahead and put that out there in some kind of way and make sure that we are understanding who we are talking about. This is one of those moments where I really got to go somehow, some way. And I'm not disqualifying him, because Tom isn't either. Tom went out there and went ahead and said it. Serial Gone has been at the top of the heavyweight division for years for a reason. He's gotten an opportunity to fight the champ 3 out of about the last 3 times, not because he's a pushover, because he's actually quite scary. Is this the one time that we see Serial Gone tip the scale in his favor? I honestly don't think so, but I'm not gonna just say that he can't do something. I really, really feel like if it goes the distance, it's favoring Tom, bro. It's favoring Tom. If it goes
not going the distance.
It's not. I'm saying if it goes to 5, it's favoring Tom. I love, and you know the question that you asked, Bobby, that you didn't necessarily ask me was, do you want to see Tom Aspinall get Serial Gone out of the ring faster than we saw John Jones? No.
I said, is there pressure? Is there pressure? Not that you want to see it. Is there more pressure?
Then for me, the answer is no. Why? If Tom Aspinall is who he says he is and who we believe he is, I want to see Tom Aspinall dominate for 5 rounds, 25 minutes of telling everybody and showing everybody that this guy is not the one. Don't get him out. Don't land. Of course, there's a possibility to knock him out like Bodkins wants, but I want to see Tom put him in a corner and make sure that we understand that there's levels to this. And Serial Gone, although really good, is not on Tom's level, and there's no other choice but for Dana to either cough up that money and give it to John, or cough up that money and make good with Francis Ngannou. That's it, and that's my point. I don't want him to get him out. I do not.
You got Ian still and all that,
right? But I don't want to see him win the fight in 30 seconds. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see. I promise you, I don't. I will turn the TV off. I will be in Rob's space. I will be selling out. I'll be pissed. But I want to see him. I want to see him by unanimous decision, no questions asked, top to bottom. Get Serial Gone out.
5 rounds. We don't need all that shit.
But what I'm saying is,
no, don't play with your food. Get it done.
Fucking get his ass out of there.
But if it is the case where we see Cyril Gane put on a show or a display that he can be match for match with this one, I want to see Tom show him that, look, bro, it's not not the one, and that's just me.
Yeah, he's going to show him in about 2.5 minutes in the first round. Go ahead, Bobby. You had something to say real quick.
Yeah, just before you went, I just wanted to point out, like, the reason I'm so confident in this is mainly because Tom is, like Whit said, he's not taking Cyril lightly. Like, he's putting in the work and he's taking him very seriously. And that's pretty much why I think, I just think he's going to be able to get a finish, whether it's submission or and granted, it's definitely hard to, finish Gane unless you're John Jones. But I feel like if it goes to decision, he will never hear and I doubt he would give a shit. But it's just going to, add to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just going to add to that. I just want there to be kind of no doubt, but it's probably irrelevant, but it's just, my personal preference would be a finish for sure. And I'm sure Tom's would be too.
The chance that if somebody said Cyril Gane's going to win, my quote would be, I believe that when my shit turns purple and smells like sherbet, So that's how I feel about Cyril Gane. I mean, he shouldn't be even in here. This is his third crack. I don't know what would be next for him once he loses his fight. I've been doing this podcast in some variation with for about 4 years. And from probably episode 3, I said Tom Aspinall will be a future heavyweight champion. And I have nailed that prediction and then some. I've always been a fan of Tom, and Tom will get it done. And yeah, Jones has got at least 3 tweets in this dress. he's
had him in there for 13 months.
You took the words out of my mouth right there, Will Robin. Thank you.
I think I'll put the over under at 10.5, William. Tweets that Jones has got saved, ready to just light it up. But he won't be able to, because Tom Aspinall will get it done inside the first round in a round and a half. Give me Tommy Aspinall, and still UFC heavyweight champion of the world, baby.
Listen, it's got to be one of those occasions right now where we want to see what John says. Okay, we want to see. But at the same time, if John is not
what John says, I don't want to see what John says.
You don't. I understand. But the world is going to have their phones in their hand, waiting for that John Jones tweet to scroll by, and then we're going to see 26.5 thousand retweets of whatever it is. Whether he goes, congratulations.
There won't be any tweets because Tommy's going to handle his business, and that's over.
John's gonna go, I got Cyril Gane out of there way quicker than that. It's gonna be something. And whatever it is gonna spark the controversy and the debate once again to keep John Jones' name relevant. And I am once again in the capacity of saying John's is still the best fighter that I've ever laid my eyes on, besides maybe Anderson Silva. But at the same time, if he ain't coming back to put it out there I'm talking about for Alex, for Tom, Francis Ngannou fighting PFL in Nairobi, Nigeria. I do not care.
He just wants to fight at the White House, allegedly.
The White House fight. He ain't fighting at the White House. Nah, he's not doing that. No.
My prediction is that after the fight, Jones will tweet answering Pereira's challenge to take all of Tom's shine away. Good call. Yeah, and I've just it's already in the drafts. It's coming.
Yeah, good call, Bobby. Good call. I like that. That's Jones's style. Yeah. Take the shine away. Take the shine away. Yeah. Whit, you got anything else going on the rest of the week before we get up out of here?
Hey man, to be honest with you, bro, this is actually a great week. I am so excited. This is my favorite time of the year. Even though I am not the biggest baseball fan, I'm so interested in this World Series. I'm gonna be checking that out. Right now, college football. NFL is happening right now. That is the wildest thing. And then, of course, just the other day, yesterday, the NBA decided to go ahead and get us ready. And tonight we have the NBA on ESPN for the first freaking time. It's so weird saying the NBA on ESPN instead of NBA on TNT. I'm going hard right now on sports. I can't wait to talk again on Tuesday. Make sure you guys, if you got a moment, to check out Rec Room Sports on Tuesdays at 10. I'm trying to get Botkins in one of these days when I switch the days up because he's always working on Tuesdays. And of course, we're going to try and get my guy, Mr. Bobby Blunts, in because he's a huge Heat fan. I can't wait for him to tell us how the Heat are going to trade away their pieces so they can get more pieces so that they can get later pieces when the pieces don't work out. I can't wait.
I'm definitely going to be drunk on that stream.
Bobby, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, just fuck Dan Miragliotta. You better not be refereeing that main event. I am going to lose my lid if he does. Enjoy the fights, and I can't wait for
early fights. Early fights.
Yeah,
Bob, you got to wake up
midday fights. So make sure to
for
go
you. It's
out
like
and,
at 9 a.m. Pancakes and knockouts for you, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be able to touch plenty of grass after the card is over. So can't wait.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Rob. Thank you. We'll catch everybody back here next week. We'll talk about all things UFC 321 and the who and what's next after that. So be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll catch you later. See y'all.
Appreciate everyone in the chat.
You guys are so great.
Peace.
Did I hit the end stream?
I don't know, though. Did you?
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.